I hear some people say, well, I don't have a crystal ball to look in. Well, fortunately, I do. And I recorded a bunch of them over 2020 as I saw myself dispersed from a job, sitting on unemployment, sucking up the government's teat. And I said, I got to do something. You know, I got to figure something out. What is going on? Why are we here? How did we get here? And the universe said, pick up those cards and start researching influential people. And I did. And I did all kinds of people, and I started to piece together the puzzle little by little. The thing about tarot is it takes time sometimes. It lets you know when to look for triggers in the future. Like I knew when Trump disappeared, he was going to come back. And the time he came back, I needed to start getting myself reading more cards and stuff like that. And so I did a Miley Cyrus card reading, right? So I looked in my crystal ball and I said, what's behind her? She's a very powerful, influential person at such a young age. What's behind her? Well, two cards came up at the beginning of the card reading, and I knew it wasn't connected to her. It is connected to her, but it was before her. I believe, just like why I show you card readings, they looked ahead and knew she was coming. All right, so they had preparation. And who did they use? Her father. I've seen my own family members being used to try to hold me down. Why would they hold me down? They don't want me doing this right now. They don't want me looking into this. They knew I had a gift and they wanted to suppress it. But it's too late. You got squandered, kids. Now let's look into this card reading, right? These were the first two cards I pulled. This one right here is the King of Swords, right? And this one is the Seven of Swords, right? Now this guy is very clever and he knows what he does. He sits there and contemplates. Look at the Owl of Enlightenment. Look at what he does. He is contemplating. He crosses every T and dots every I. This guy, on the other hand, is a thief. He's got a mask on. You see him? He stole the sword from the White Swan, and he has a grimace on his face, and he enjoys it. He enjoys being a little naughty little bastard, right? So that right there showed me this is the double-edged sword that he carries. He could be good and he can be evil, but it showed me that there was some evil behind her. Now, at the time I did the card reading, I didn't really know. I couldn't put two and two together. But this was a time where Miley was just coming out with the wrecking ball and being over sexualized after she had just been Hannah Montana, the darling of all the kids in the Disney world, right? So this connects back to Disney. It's not just Billy Ray. I'm not trying to paint him as the villain, but he is well aware. He knows what he's doing. This is what this card says to me. He is aware of what he's doing. They know what they're doing. Who else, after I did this card reading in 2020, came out, won the youth over, and was backed by Billy Ray? It was that Little Nas X. And he came out with that old country road song that the kids love. They put him in schools. And then he does a 180 and does the same thing where he over-sexualizes himself. He comes out with a totally demonic video where he's in the Garden of Eden. He kisses himself and then he goes down and twerks just like Miley did at the VMAs, just like he came out at the VMAs in his little pink leather-bound jumpsuit. We all know what that's about. All right. And so now they're trying to victimize him. But he got in trouble because he came out with a 666 demonic shoe with a drop of blood in it. Okay. And that demonic video where at the end he kills the demon or whatever that thing was, Satan or whatever. He kills it. He breaks its neck. What the hell happened? Where did Old Time Road come from? Now we've seen a pattern of two times where something that is backed by Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, has gone after the youth, snuck into your homes, snuck into your television, into your tablets, into your cell phone, and then boom, went really sexualized the kids, okay? And in the second case, he went straight demonic. And I saw a photo of Miley Cyrus wearing those shoes too, but then they got backlash, and then he had to go away. And what he do? He tried to victimize the gay community and say, "Oh, I'm gay." That was his excuse, homie. That's not your excuse. But that's what he used because they need to victimize. They need to use Hollywood because they need to victimize people. They need as much as they can because the Hollywood works for the far left. And how do they demonize people? How do they demonize Trump? How do they demonize Aaron Rodgers? You're a white supremacist. You don't like gay people. They need more things for them to be able to point the finger at you. Oh, look at you. You don't like Little Nas X. Oh, he's gay. Oh, he's a tranny. Look at Dave Chappelle. Oh, you don't like trans. You don't like this. That's what they've been doing. They pick up one hat, put that hat on. When that hat doesn't work, they put the other hat on, okay? That's why it's LGBTQ instead of just the gay community. This is what they've been doing. This is why Little Nas, a black gay man, is being used right now by the system that is connected to Disney, that is connected to corporations, that is connected to Miley Cyrus, that is connected to Billy Ray Cyrus. So I'm sorry, but this is why I do the tarot, because it lets me look beyond the veil. Okay, sometimes just listen to Ben Shapiro, I can't do it because all he's doing is giving me my daily breadcrumbs, showing me what he's doing with a little conservative spin. And it was so funny because I had a never Trumper at the bar the other day, which are far, few, and in between. I've been back at the bar for 6, 7 months, and I work with a lot of business people traveling for business, okay? People that have jobs, money, and 401ks. And in this whole Biden regime, this whole thing that's going on with the gas prices is not the business, okay? Even with her, she hated Biden, but she couldn't stand Trump. But I couldn't talk to her. I wanted to ask her, give me a couple of reasons. I couldn't because she would get that twitch and she looked like Gollum. She'd be like, call him, I need my precious. So I just left her alone, but I picked her brain. Okay, and then she was a big Ben Shapiro person. This was her claim to conservatism, and I said, I just was openly free, and I just said, well, I'm not really into Ben Shapiro, but if I like anybody from his camp, it's that Matt Walsh. Oh, well, he's a sexist. Matt Walsh is a sexist? I was like, didn't you see his documentary? She lied to me the first night. Yeah, I saw it. His documentary on what is a woman, where he goes to Me Too movements, he goes to college campuses, he goes all over the place and asks these protesters, "Can you explain to me what a woman is?" And I already knew she saw the clip of him on on Dr. Phil. I already knew where this dude with a beard and long hair and painted fingernails was trying to basically push this over sexualized agenda. This is why they need the musicians, the actors, and everybody to be in lockstep, because they're pushing confusion to the point where our young generation can't even tell you what a woman is. This is the whole point. This is the agenda. The younger generation is so brainwashed, it can't even tell you what a woman is. Whether it's fear, whether they're scared, or whether it's just propaganda with Demi Lovato saying, I'm a them, they, their, what, thou. What is Demi Lovato? Another Disney princess. So now you could just see the cabal is just entrenched in Disney. All right? And it uses its puppets like Billy Ray Cyrus and its daughter to manipulate society, to get them so confused that they don't even understand what a woman is. This is the attack. This is what you're witnessing. Combined with CRT, where they're telling the black people that this is racist country, it's built on racism, it's not for you. Get out of town, Charlie Brown. This is 2022. We've never been more open to gay relationships, to the black community, to everything. You need to stop listening to the propaganda, but the propaganda is thick. And this is how I was able to see it. How did they get us in fear? They used their puppets with their masks, with their own daughters. They turned their own daughters against us to over-sexualize and confuse the youth, to now this younger generation can't even tell what a man or a woman is, a biological man or woman. That is some psychological psyop right there. And that's why it was very important for them to control Miley Cyrus and send Lil Nas X in after the kids, gain their trust, gain the family's trust, and then switch it on them. Do you get it? And just like that never Trumper that was at the bar the other day, I wish I could have probed her brain. I probed it though. And she didn't like Biden. She didn't like Trump. She didn't like anybody. And that's where they want us. Dazed and confused. So confused we can't even tell you what a woman is. That is a psychological psyop. And I needed to peek through the veil because I didn't feel like Ben Shapiro and all these other people that are just feeding the breadcrumbs were going to tell me. So I had to look into my crystal ball. And isn't my crystal ball ever so clear? I knew I had to document them and come back a year or two in the future and really clarify. And if you want to look at it, look at my Miley Cyrus card reading. Okay, it's on Rumble and it's on YouTube, and you could see my reaction. I was joking around, I was laughing, ha ha ha, and then these two cards came up, and I said something seriously sinister is going on, and now we can see it. We have two examples of her father peddling over-sexualization of the youth through Disney, through the corporations. You see how I peeked through the veil? I didn't just tell you oh, today Biden, wiped his own butt or whatever. No, I looked ahead and I got my information, and now the pieces of the puzzle are falling in line. This is the power of the tarot. This is why they want to demonize it. This is why they're scared, because I can take a deck of cards and figure out what's going on way, way better than listening to some news reporter feeding me the breadcrumbs that they were fed earlier in the day. All right? With that being said, peace out.